Okay, so let us review last class. So last class we discussed the British Empire and how it ultimately triumphed over its main rivals, who were the French, the Spanish, and the Dutch, because of three major powers, okay? The first is the Bank of England.
Yeah.
What made the Bank of England so important is that it could absorb foreign capital, okay, from all around the world. So at first it absorbed capital from the Dutch Republic.
There's been a lot of iterations of central banks, right? They go all the way to the Knights Templar. They used to have all these posts throughout the Middle East, and you would just be handed this little paper that they said they owed you this much gold or whatever, right? And they would hold gold in all these posts across the Middle East, and you could go redeem it. It was a type of proto bank. But the British Empire became so powerful due to its central banking system. They were the first to figure out how to put the debt on its citizens, because before that it was just the king would owe you money, right? Or the state, just a couple of people, but not the people. And what the British Empire figure out is how to put that on all the people. So then they got all these investors now because they could trust the government, right? Because the debt was on the people, the citizens themselves. And this is really when money printing probably got out of control. So that's probably why British Empire got funded.
But then if you were a French aristocrat, if you were the Catholic Church, if you were the Habsburgs, you could all move your capital to England where it would be safe.
It was safe.
It would be protected by the law, okay? The idea of property rights. And when Britain became an empire, this was important because local elites in China, in India, in Southeast Asia would help the British because they were incentivized to do so. They could help the British steal from these places and then move capital, their wealth, to England or one of the British colonies for.
Elites are always going to elite, right? Elites are always trying to find a way not to pay taxes. Even in today's world, have you guys heard about Panama Papers? You don't even have to, but they use all these shell corporations. They move their money to different countries. So the elites can always avoid the regulations of any one country or any one state, right? And they have lawyers to do all this kinds of shit. So elites are always gonna elite. They're always trying to make more money, like they're going to die someday and take all this with them. They believe that they're gods on earth. That's why we're always going to continue to have a sick society as long as we continue to use the elite's money, bad money, money that's controlled by a few, for a few, and created from debt.
Or safekeeping, okay? So that's a source of English power. Second is the idea of soft power, right? So we are in school learning English because we want to go and study in the West. That's soft power, right? So Shakespeare, the BBC,
Big Black Cock,
Oxbridge are all components of British soft power, which still rules the world today. And the third, of course, is the British Navy, which controls sea lanes and therefore controls all trade. Okay? So for the longest time, for 100 years, Britain was able to maintain a global empire.
Does that sound familiar, guys? It reminds me of the United States, right? We are the new Bank of England. Our dollar is what's used all throughout the world. We're always not just doing kinetic war in different countries, but if these leaders of other countries, like in Venezuela or in Cuba or in Argentina or in Yemen or in anywhere all over the world, we're trying to get everyone on one economic system. And that's why all the governments are playing a game of money. But it's bad money, money that's controlled by a few, for a few, like I said. And we're just doing what empires always do. We overextend ourselves eventually. We begin to destroy and inflate our money away. And that creates all sorts of problems, right? Because then the citizens begin to to get frustrated and point fingers and blame one another instead of uniting. Usually, what happens because the news is controlled by the elites themselves, and they rather all of us have, fight with ourselves than to go after them. That's truly what terrifies them. What terrifies the elites is that we're all going to realize that power is just an illusion that they maintain through the currency. If you took away their money tomorrow, or if all of us decided to jump ship from their money, their power would collapse overnight. It's just a narrative. It's a story that we were born into. But if you think about it, there is way more of us than there is of them. Even if we put all the elites on one stadium, there is still way more of us outside of them. Just think about the Super Bowl, the World Cup that's coming up this year, right? Imagine a stadium full of elites. It wouldn't matter. Their power is just an illusion. Look outside of the stadium. There would be streets and houses and beaches and parks and whole countries full of people, right? So there is more of us than there is of them. And some people believe that the elites are pulling the strings is just a few families and maybe a couple of people that we could fit in this room or this house. And that's what the only way they can control that is through the currency, through bad money. A money created by a few elites for a few elites and created from debt that gets passed on to us, the citizens, at the end of the day. That's why we find ourselves funding every war around the world, and things just keep getting more expensive. Our healthcare systems are completely broken. Our educational systems are completely broken because the elites don't really care about us. Right now, they're infighting with one another. This is what happens at the end of the empire. They're destroying our currency. They're fighting with one another for power, and we're overextended all over the world, right? There's all these people. There's these things going behind the scenes that we don't understand. And that's why the elites always meet like at places like at Davos. And that's why they're trying to update the financial system because they know it's broken. And BRICS, which is like China and Brazil and India and Iran and Russia, all these people are working together against us now. And their weapons, especially in China, are as powerful as ours, if not more so, right? Some of these people might have some weapons that we don't understand, like hypersonics. I hope that we have hypersonics, but it doesn't sound like it. But Russia and Iran and China, they all got them, right? Look at the jet fighters in China. And all these countries have atomic bombs. So we have all these countries right now fighting for power and also through the currency, right? There's a currency war against us. And at the same time, we have this cool technology, cryptocurrency. But the old powers through BlackRock and Chase and Jamie Dimon, and they're already choke holding the new system. Our leaders are creating laws that benefit the bankers, right? So they can continue to drain everything out of us, every cent. There's no mercy, right? You get paid, you get taxed, and then you go to the store and you pay for their taxes. Right? So, and then you pay for everyone's war. And on top of that, there's a hole in our wallets. There's a hole in all of our wallets. And they continue to destroy our currency at every turn. The printer is about to turn on. That's why it makes more sense to be in other assets like gold or silver, which are going bananas right now, right?
Which really was the first global empire because it spanned the entire world.
But look at gold. I think gold's about to top out though. I've been looking at the charts. And I think gold is going to this line right here. We're almost there, like at $5,300, $400. If we hit it right now, it continues to move, obviously. So if we hit it on the 17th, it's gonna be almost at $5,500. But I don't think gold's gonna go past this line, or maybe it comes above it and tries to hold support, but I think it's gonna fail. And then we're gonna have some sort of correction. But if the dollar fails, then the gold will continue to go up. But I guess I mean a correction against other assets like crypto, right? This is Bitcoin versus gold, and it looks like if you take this legacy trend line, right, there's gonna be some sort of bounce here. That's just how these lines work, right? There's always a bounce, and as you can see, we're almost there. We also have this big support level right here, so I could see gold coming in here, maybe even a John Wicks a little bit. You know, there's a long wick into it, but I think a lot of people are going to start moving their money to something that hasn't pumped yet, which is cryptocurrencies. Like Bitcoin has been sort of popping, but we just went through this big old correction. Let me go to another chart. This is also the Bitcoin chart. And as you can see, we've been writing this line for a long time that I had on my X. So follow me if you want more updates on Bad Money 619. And as you can see, if we lose that level, this is my next prediction, right? I think we could go all the way to 76 to 73. I don't see it going any lower than that. 73, 370 would be like the craziest move, because if we drop all the way to these lines right here, you take out these legs, so you liquidate all the bulls, people who thought we were going up, right? They're probably all the stop losses right here. And then you also trap all the bears. If you come all the way over here, right, and we get above here, that would be the kill shot. That's when BlackRock and Chase and Circle and USDC and XRP and SUI and Ethereum and the Trump family, right, World Liberty Financial and the Trump coin, all these people, and Chainlink, there's all these people that are trying to consolidate power. These are the crypto cartels, and it's important for all of us to understand cryptocurrencies and blockchains and things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and what all these things do. There's different types of cryptos. It's not just money. There's games, there's metaverses, there's AIs based in crypto. And also, people haven't realized that you need crypto to do AI correctly, because you're going to have all these AI agents doing purchases for you in the future. You're going to tell them, yo, go find me the best deal on this Fender guitar from 1988 or whatever. I want one. And then you find a great deal. You're allowed to spend this much, and please do so. And then boom, you send your AI agent out there into the world to shop for you until it finds it. And it's kind of have to do that transaction. So you need a blockchain to do that. That's really what's going to power up the new revolution of AI. So this is important, guys. This is like the mark of the beast stuff. That's why we have like Mr. Beast now. He's scaring me because he's going into Ethereum, trying to start his own chain. And there's theories out there that Mr. Beast could be the Antichrist. Not that I'm religious or not. I'm all over the place. But I think things are coming, guys. Also, look at this chart I have right here on X. Like, I think the dollar is about to lose this line of support, and it's gonna drop all the way to this next line of support over here. And I think Bitcoin, maybe it comes down all the way to this line, right? I'm thinking maybe here by the end of the day if gold drops, but maybe it comes all the way to this line, worst case scenario. That's what I'm thinking, right? So I think Bitcoin is I don't know, I think it's bottoming out against gold, and gold is super spicy, right, like I just showed you guys. And I think it's about to hit its head. Look, I got this line from all the way since, you could have had this line since November of 2010, right? So like gold was dying, everyone was telling me buy gold, and we were like, nah, we're gonna buy Bitcoin, and boom, we were better off in gold, right? But all things that go up must come down, and I think it's about to hit its head. And then when we look at Bitcoin versus gold, right, you can see that we're bottoming. Something's gonna happen at this resistance level, and if Bitcoin can get above this orange line over here, find support, and I think we're gonna have a big explosion in cryptocurrencies. I think that's going to be the beginning of altcoin season. Also, if we look, let me show you silver first, because silver is the same exact thing. It looks like it wants to come into here, find support, and bounce. So that looks really good for cryptos. On top of that, I'm looking at the total 3. If you guys follow me on X, like I said, I had this chart for a long time, and I called this retest, right? Where is it? Look, I've been saying that we're gonna do a retest. I told you guys when we were breaking out. See, I have all these charts for a long time, guys. My lines haven't changed. Look, it says retest, and I had this before that, right? I had these 2 lines for a long time. Even this call right here is from these 2 points in the past. As you can see, we're finding support. We're breaking out. I said there's gonna be a retest, and look what happened. We just had our retest. Right now I'm on the weekly. Let me go to the 4-hour to show you what I mean. Every time you break out of these triangle patterns, we broke out. I told people there's gonna be a breakout, and we did. But then I was like calling for a retest, and look, we just had it. Hopefully we can stay above. Maybe we come back down and retest this because we didn't quite touch it. But you see how accurate that is, right? Right now we're trying to build support. Total 3 is all the altcoins, excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin. So that's another chart that makes me feel really bullish. And also look at where's World Liberty Finance? Trump is buying. It looks like Trump is buying, or he was. Where's this stupid chart? World Liberty Financial, look. This is Trump's coin, dude. It looks like we're building support. Maybe we do come down, because maybe gold does rip all the way over here, right? So it still has a little bit to go. And that maybe we have a bigger crash in Bitcoin, right? I'm not really sure. But either way, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, and with the dollar, this is what I was saying. Look, I had that chart a couple days ago. We're now below it. Maybe we come back, hit our heads for one more test, and then it's dumpage, guys. The dollar is going down hard all the way to some levels down here. So get ready, guys. You can also see this in all the altcoins. They're trying to, XRP almost losing this line right here, but look, it's trying to fight back. We have Hyperliquid today. Look, boom! It's blasting already. Hyperliquid's already blasting. Which is weird because Bitcoin has been correcting, but now the altcoins have been kind of staying strong. Look at ADA too. This whole time Bitcoin was bleeding this week, ADA's just kind of been holding on to this green line. So if ADA can get above here, that's gonna be really bullish. There's also Midnight, right? A 5th generation crypto that I'm really excited about. Remember, this was built by Charles, the man, right? By IOHK. This is a privacy coin. This is a 5th generation crypto. Like, people don't understand. This is like the iPhone of cryptos. We can now we can do so many things in crypto now. It's amazing. And Knight was not just injected into Cardano, right? It's injected into Ethereum and Bitcoin and XRP, I think, and Solana, right? All these people got to claim Midnight for free. There was no VC insiders. There's a privacy coin, so you can actually have voting systems, because Cardano's not trying to be a crypto. Cardano is trying to be the first digital nation. And with Knight on top of it and Bitcoin OS, I'm really excited about Cardano, and especially Knight. The market cap is like in 300 millions or something. Look where we're at in the charts. I bought a bunch of Midnight over here, and I'm getting a bunch of free because I was just holding Cardano. Because it's the actual only Bitcoin and Cardano are actually truly decentralized, if have any sort of values, guys. In my opinion. So I don't know, guys. I think it's really bullish. Look at Ethereum. What is this? Ethereum. Holding strong to this, trying to build some support here, right? If Ethereum can get back above here, that's really good for all the altcoins. We have Ondo, which is BlackRock guys right here, trying to find a low. But look, it still hasn't gone below the wick that took Bitcoin out in October. ICP is like, it's trying to blast. Look, I think ICP is great technology. It's trying to replace the internet. You're gonna literally be able to tell ICP, yo, build me an app for whatever, this website, and it's gonna be able to do that because AI is already integrated into ICP. It's gonna be cheaper to store things because it's not on AWS, right? It's not on the Amazon Web Services that all these other cryptos are. ICP is actually, all the data is in the blockchain. It's actually pretty crazy. So yeah, look into ICP. I got a bunch. Let's look at this chart. Let's zoom out all time. Remember that one time ICP was like at where? Like $700? Whatever. Guys, I don't know. At least throw $10 into it. I don't know if I'll ever come back to these levels. 2,000? No way. I remember here about $700. I think this line is crazy. But look, ICP has been dying for a long time, and if it breaks out of this little orange line right here, this weekly resistance that's been holding the price down forever, it's trying to build this new support line, right? Look, we went all the way to the bottom. I got some more ICP here, but I've been getting ICP this whole time because to me, that's the plan, right? And once ICP breaks out of here, you gotta go attack at least where you came from. The price that's been holding you down, which is, I bet it's somewhere around here for sure. at least there. Like ICP is gonna go back to $16, maybe come back correct or something. Maybe it gets above it, put support, and then boom. The real big levels for ICP is gonna be over here somewhere, something like here to here. Like this would be that would be amazing. When ICP comes attack here, I would expect some sort of correction, of course, but that's gonna get interesting. So that's a $37 ICP. Right now it's only at $3.32, right? So I think that's a great opportunity. Look into it. Again, look, this is another world Trump coin here, trying to build support. H bar, I just bought some up like over here somewhere. I thought it was gonna break out, so I think I bought a little bit too early. But I think it's trying to build support. If it can get back above here, H bar, it's looking strong. Great technology. I think it's the cheapest crypto. Zora, it's like a social media. I also messed up. I bought some up here. And now we're low. Now I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about Zora. I think it could fail, so I'm feeling stupid about buying that. But that's why you gotta research all your coins, right? And then, well, yeah, the dollar still dying, guys. The dollar's dying. That's on the weekly candle. That's on the daily. We're already broke one daily candle below it. That's not a good sign. And if the dollar goes down, that means that everything else is gonna go up, including gold. So I don't know. Maybe it corrects for a while sideways, right? I don't know if the gold. I don't think the gold's gonna dump. I just think it's gonna. Bitcoin and cryptos are gonna have. You're better off in those, right? You're gonna get a better return than in metals now, because the metals are just parabolic. There's just investors are not gonna buy that anymore. It looks like it's a bull run. Everything goes up, must correct at least for a while. So we'll see what happens to the metals. I am really curious. And so yeah, that's what I'm looking at, guys. Again, if you like these charts, if you like my channel, please follow me here at Bad Money 619, son. I'll keep you guys updated there. I'm trying to make more videos. Hope you guys like them. Is it okay? Does it sound okay? I don't know. And yeah, and I want to go more into money. This channel is all about money, right? I have this crazy idea around money, called Good Money, which is beyond socialism and capitalism. So I also want to get all philosophical on you guys, because I think I stumbled into a truth, because it makes sense psychologically, evolutionarily, religiously, spiritually, societally, right? Like, we're using bad money. Money that's controlled by a few elites, for a few elites, and created from debt, which is literally the devil's dick. And what we need is the opposite. Money that's created by all of us, from things that we all need through voting, right? That's why I'm so excited about crypto, because it's a new way to vote where there's no shenanigans, truly decentralized. It could be in the moment. That's why we have these prediction markets. This is just people voting in the moment for things. We live in a different world, guys. We got robots, we got AI, we got crypto, and we're trying to survive, dude, because these elites are getting out of control. And I think it's time to remind our political leaders and these elites who they work for. And if you think about it, all the tools that we're building in crypto right now, we're literally building the first digital nation. And that's why I'm so excited. And I hope people can join me so we can talk more about this. And of course, people need money. I'm about to have a kid. I'm about to be a dad for the first time. I hate money, guys. I hate asking for money. I hate asking for likes. But hey, it's not about me anymore. And hopefully I could help people if I make money. At least my family, my mom, my kids, my girl, right? So yeah, guys, this is Bad Money. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.